Hello and welcome to Ketter Farms. We're back with another episode of Lincoln Creek, Nebraska. And yeah, we're up here in the yard. We ran out of fuel, so we're refueling the truck here, and then we also topped off the fuel tank in the back so that we can refuel our baling tractor here. So I've gone ahead and wrapped up picking all the bales up in our cornfield so we can actually start tillage today. But we're also going to be keeping going on this baling stuff. And I have to give a big shout out to several people in the comments of the last couple of videos here, or especially the last video, that have suggested, hey, why don't you still use the tractor with the bale collector to collect the bales and bring them to the edge of the field and then load them up with the auto load trailer, and that would really speed things up. And that's a great idea that I didn't think about. So that's something we're definitely going to have to think about next season. We're done right now with the bulk of our fields. I think for the at least the soybean straw fields we've got, it's going to go a lot quicker. And then we'll have to think about that. Maybe we'll lease that trailer again for the big cornfield that we've still got to do. Today, however, I want to get this tillage going out here on our cornfield that we finally got the bales off of. So we've got the 620 all hooked up here with this big tillage implement behind us here. And we're going to go ahead and just run this straight out here to our field. I think I actually just sent that worker to the wrong field. We're taking this guy to field 50. The bale trailer needed to go a little bit farther away here. So let's go ahead and get this guy going here. We're gonna turn on tabbing for this tractor again, and I'm gonna go ahead and send him out to field 50, and then let's hop over here and get our truck moving to the right spot. Yeah, you sir, you were not supposed to go to field 50. I meant field 24. So we'll go ahead and just move you along here, get you back up on the road and on your way. And if we hop back over here to our grain setup, you can see we've been running some more grain through the dryer here. It's still going. We don't have a ton of corn here yet. Not a lot of time has passed, so we haven't even filled up this grain truck yet. But we did buy a little bit more propane to keep this thing going. In fact, if I bring up the menu here and take a quick look, we've got, not quite 5,000 liters of propane now. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but I don't want to sink a bunch of money into it when we don't need to. So we're letting this thing keep running here. Not enough emptied out of it to really empty the rest of this semi yet. So hopefully at some point today the dryer will get caught up with us. So we're back up here at field 50. We've got our tillage equipment all ready to go here, so we're gonna get this thing unfolded now. This implement is actually quite large, which is good. We should be able to knock this field out pretty quickly here. And we are going to use a bit of Courseplay on this field, and because we're using multi-terrain angle and all that, we're going to take a 10-degree angle here. It should line up pretty good with the ground textures here. We might run into a little bit of problems, but I've got it angled this way since we have the deeper part of the field over on this side. Should cut down on the number of short rows we've got. We're going to skip a row, and I've got 2 headland passes coming off of this right now. Should be enough. Famous last words. So we're going to run with this and see how it goes here. I am going to do the headlands first. I think if with tillage, I'd normally do the headlands at the end. But for Courseplay purposes, this is going to be a little bit easier. Otherwise, I'd have to start on the other end of the field, I think, with how stuff is currently set up. And so we've got this guy going to town here. And if we just check, I have set up my tillage stuff to remove the plowing effect here, just because I wouldn't want to do necessarily deep tillage year after year on all my corn ground. So we're going to go with this. We're going to town. Looks like we're making good progress. And as always with Courseplay, just double checking that our speeds are set up to maximize what we're able to do with this implement. So this job will go pretty quick, 45 minutes it looks like to get the tillage done on this field. We're gonna take a break here, let Courseplay do its thing while it gets this field opened up, and we'll check back in just a moment. What I really want to do is go ahead and get this tractor all fired up here to start baling the other half of this soybean field. And so we're gonna bring our truck with the fuel tank right on up alongside here so that we're well within range to refuel this Magnum. And I'm just realizing I think the fuel trigger for this fuel tank is only on the left side of the pickup, so rather than try and swing around with the bale trailer, it's probably going to be quicker for us to move the baler and the tractor here. There we go. Refueling and good to go. So let's get this guy all lined up on his course here. Looks like I've still got the Courseplay course all loaded up here because we've got all the lines on the screen here. So we're gonna say first course on the right side. Away we go. Turn off all these ugly lines and different UI components. And we're cranking on the bales. So this guy's gonna get going, and I chose this field because we're gonna be able to knock this out and sell these bales real quick since we're right up here by the bale sell point. So let's go ahead and get this trailer all set up here and start loading up some soybean straw bales. I am curious, I think the price is pretty much the same for the soybean straw as it is for the corn straw. So we're gonna go ahead and load up a bit of these bales here and see what we're gonna get for a trailer full of these. Hopefully it's a pretty good deal. And I'm also hoping that we can do a better job of keeping up with our baling tractor here with this faster and larger capacity truck setup here. All right, we've got our first full trailer of soybean straw here. So we're gonna bring this right up to the bale sell point here. And hopefully everything's working as we'd expect. Oop, we're clipped into that tree just a bit. So I think I need to turn it off and unload. There we go. 885. A little bit lower than the cornstalk bales were, but honestly, I don't really want to store these anywhere, so we're going to just keep selling them at whatever the current prices are. So we're going to zip around this field here and see if we can close the gap with the baler just a bit. He's got a few rounds left. He's finished up on the headland pass, I think. And the up-down rows on this field, not going to take him very long. He's clipping at a good pace here, so I've gotten most of the headland bales actually at this point. It looks like we're doing pretty good from a catching up with the baler perspective. A few rounds here and there, so we'll keep at this and check back in a moment here. All right, we're back up here with load number 2. I think we're catching up with the baler. I can't be sure here. We'll see in a minute. But I am liking this auto unload trailer. It seems to do a great job of dropping the bales in the trigger. No problems whatsoever on the selling side of things with this setup. So we're officially catching up with the baler here. We are going a little bit fast for field speed. But this is a job we've kind of been dragging out across, 3 episodes now. So I'm excited to kind of be just knocking it out here and moving on to some other work. So we're not going to sit here and waste a bunch of time following right behind the baler. We've got all the bales that were out on the field picked up. So I'm going to stop this guy right here. He shouldn't be in the way. The baler has no need to come back down to this other part of the field. So we're going to let him keep going, and we're going to jump on back to check on our tillage. So we're back up here in field 50, and it looks like our tillage tractor is on the final headland pass here. So we should be getting started on the core part of the field next. Although I have to say, by the time you knock out headlands on a narrow field like this, you've covered a lot of ground already. So I tried out turn mode on Courseplay here. I have to say I've not been very happy with it. It left chunks in every corner just in a different way. I was kind of expecting this thing to back up to these, very square corners. This field is pretty much all square corners, and it did just a terrible job here. It didn't back up far enough in a lot of cases. Like even here, you can see the work area is in the front of this implement. It didn't correctly detect how far back it needed to go and left all these long, wide spots. So I almost feel like the other Courseplay mode works out a lot better. Either way, we'll have to come back and clean those corners up here in a little bit, which is not the end of the world. But we should be in a good spot here to get going on these angled rows now. So I'll be curious to see how well Courseplay handles the skip rows here. Should have plenty of room to turn around up here on the headlands, I'd think. We'll see. Moment of truth. Not exactly a full skip row here, but I'm wondering if that's just because it's the first pass here and it's a little bit oddly offset. We're gonna give it one more try here, folks. Yeah, it looks like that was just an artifact of being the first pass there. He's coming down here quite a ways to find his next angled row. I guess I should say she's coming down quite a ways here. So let's see if she pulls back into an appropriately looking row here. Looking promising. I'm doubly pleased that we're not having to back up here, that the 2 headland passes is enough to make the swing and pull into the row. So this should work out actually quite efficiently. And eyeballing it, looks like we're about right. Looks like we're about to pass out here. So I think everything's going to work out in our favor here. Ground textures look good. We're trucking now, folks. So I'm gonna let the worker keep going here for a bit. She's got everything under control. So I really want to get this tractor moved over to our cornfield here shortly. So it looks like we're pretty much on, I think this is the last pass. There might be one more short round here on the other side of these trees, but it looks like everything's gonna be good to go. So while it finishes the last couple of bales, we better grab our truck here and get the rest of these bales picked up and off of this field. So we got that full trailer sold off here. We picked up the rest of the bales that are straggling around the field here. I think we've got them all. So we just got to grab the couple in the baler here. And if we double check here, we can actually maybe unload this partial bale that we've got in the baler. Let's see here. Is it Y? Yeah, I don't think so. It's half bale, so we're not going to be able to get that one out. Let's turn around and send this guy down to, I'm trying to think. We've got a soybean field left to do, and we've got our other big cornfield to do. I think what we're going to do is send this guy down to the cornfield. We need to be getting those bales off of the cornfield so that we can start tillage down there sooner than later. And so luckily we've got an auto drive course that runs down the edge of the map on this end. So we're gonna go ahead and send this worker on their way and get the bales we've got sold off here and see where we're at with tillage. So with everything all sold off here, we're back up at field 50. And it looks like our tillage is getting to a point where we're done with the big long stretches here. We've got the skip rows worked out for us pretty well, kept us turning nice and wide. And here we're going to actually intersect with our headlands, it looks like, and start working on these smaller rows before we start working our way back. So we're probably already about halfway done, or more than halfway done with this field if you count the headlands, which is a great spot to be. So let's finish knocking out this tillage. So while our tillage tractor finishes up in field 50, we have gone ahead and jumped down here to field 68. We're gonna get the baler going down here. We need to keep this driver moving for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and do what we've done on the other fields, which is load up our combine Courseplay course and start on the first waypoint here on the outside of the track. We should be good to go. Looks like we're missing that bit on the corner. I could have done that myself, but whatever. I'm sure they'll either pick that up for me on the trip back around on the headland here, or we can clean that up at the end. Either way, we've got the corn stalk bales coming out. We'll have one leftover soybean straw bale there. It looks like that's okay. This field is going to take a while. So if I bring up the Courseplay menu, it's going to take 55 minutes to do one half of this field. So we're also going to have to do the other half here. And so that's the big reason why I wanted to jump down here and get started on this field, is that before we can even start tillage down here, we've got to get all of this baling knocked out. So we'll let this guy keep going here and give us plenty of time to focus on some of the other parts around the farm that need some attention. We better get this pickup headed down there to that cornfield, though. I think with it being a bit farther away, it is going to take a little bit more to keep up with the baler, with the trailer and such, just because there's going to be some road time involved. But that's okay. We'll see how it goes here. But either way, this truck needs to be down at field 68. So we're back up here in field 50. It looks like we are finishing up the final few sections of these kind of short, awkward rows here around the trees. We've made great progress today. I didn't expect us to actually knock out this field of tillage today. So the fact that we were able to get out here and take care of this so fast is a good sign. It means hopefully when we get into this big field 68, we're going to be able to knock that out without too many problems as well. Now, the problem is I'm going to want to run two pieces of tillage out there, and our tillage equipment is of two different sizes. And so we may have to resort to doing something with the base game worker or something to start the two different workers from opposite ends of the field and meet up in the middle, something like that. I don't know. We'll think up something as we head out and tackle that field. But this field is just about wrapped up. We've got just another pass here on the other corner of the field here. So we're going to wrap this up real quick like. And yeah, jump into next episode. We should be finally getting that dryer topped off and hopefully knocking out all of the bales that we've got in the rest of these fields. So stay tuned for all of that fun next episode. That's all for today. Kedrick out. Oh my goodness. Twice. Oh man, my diesel and bale capacities are overlapping each other. I have no idea how full we are. I mean, I guess I could just look at the bales on the back of the trailer. Whoa, where are you going, Courseplay? Was that circle really necessary there? I have no idea what Courseplay is doing here. Oh, our angled rows go that way. This makes sense. But if we're going to have to back up every single time like this, it's going to be a long day.